Hadouken! Panic boom!
Right, so what we're going to do in this video is focus on different concepts of what to do when you're starting to pass your opponent's open guards. So keep in mind I show spider guard, De La Riva guard, reverse De La Riva guard. They're all pretty much the same things. Once we're starting to get around our opponent's legs, the main obstacles, keep in mind these are mostly gi guards, but a lot of these techniques can cross over to no gi as well. As opposed to holding onto the gi, once you're starting to pass your opponent's legs, you can look at holding onto, which I always suggest anyway, is holding onto the limbs of your partner. Maybe scooping underneath the leg, looking for an underhook, looking for a crossface, things that aren't going to move separately to the body to hold your partner down and get that pass. And then also what to do once they start to roll away and they realize that they can't actually reclaim their guard, what to do in those situations as well. So let's just jump straight into the video. So we're here like so, all right? I've got a lot of different options of ways to pass, okay? Very, very easy, okay? I could go to the top and I could start to pin the legs down to the ground, okay? I'm just changing the direction. So I'm pushing down, I'm not like pulling down. So from here, if I want to go the opposite way, okay? I'm pushing the legs up and I can work into different styles of passing, going to leg drags, going to knee ride, lots of different options there, okay? So I can push the legs down, I can push the legs up, okay? Same thing goes, obviously, if they're on my hip, so let's just say that's on my hip. I can push the leg down, okay? I can push it up to the ceiling as well. Pretty simple, okay? So just go back to the biceps for now, all right? I could also work on pushing the legs to the side. So in this position, I can push that way. But then again, I've still got to worry about this obstacle here. So let's say we're here like so. I'm going to circle that one around, okay? Now I can start to move the legs that way. Okay, same thing goes if, you know, say, just go De La Riva. Okay, we're here like that there. Okay, keep in mind, the legs are the obstacles you have to get around in order to pass your partner's guard. So like we did before, I pin the legs down, I push them up, I went to the side. This is now an obstacle. He's got a really good handle here. So I've got to somehow kill this, because if I keep moving around, he's got two really good handles, this one here and this one here. So if I can pin that one there, okay, I'm not going to pass if I've still got this here. Okay, this is another obstacle that I have to deal with before I pass. So just an example, let's say he's got to go to the De La Riva again. Okay, we're here like so. Right, I can pin that leg. It's no longer an obstacle. Maybe I bring the leg to the other side. Now I can start to work on passing, okay, because he didn't really have anything pushing me away. So very, very easy. I can start to push the legs down. I can push the legs up. Okay, I can circle out. I can push it to the side. Okay, just remember, whenever you're trying to pass, you're trying to turn your partner's feet and knees away from you. Okay, so lots of different options. Once we get to here, maybe I pin the legs down. Okay, I can start to run around and cut an angle. I can start to step that leg in and still go into a pass, eventually get my leg out and still cut an angle. So keep in mind, your partner, if ever they're trying to sweep or submit you, they'll be cutting as much angle as they possibly can to make their life a lot easier, to work on sweeps, submissions, back takes, and so forth. Make sure if you're cutting an angle, which is what you've got to do, that's like very, very common here. We're here like so, if I go like that, he's going to square up with me and he's going to use his legs as obstacles, okay? Whenever I'm trying to pass his guard, okay, we're head to head here. So this is good, he's in his guard. Unless somehow I end up getting around his legs and end up in mount, I've got to go side on. So I've got to get perpendicular to him. So just keep in mind, the legs are the obstacles you have to get around in order to pass your partner's guard. Okay, so he's got handles here, so he's pushing in my hips here. Exact same thing, I can work on pinning that one down. I've got to deal with this one, let's just say it's on the bicep. So if I get to here and I get to a knee ride, it's not a stable position. He can still push me and square up. So make sure you're cutting as much angle as you can once you get around these obstacles, which are the legs. You'll find that the closer you get, let's say if I get to a position here, I've gotten rid of that one, he's got a couple of different options here. He can work on trying to reclaim his guard, so let's say just create some space, push away to square up, okay? Maybe he has enough room to do that. But if I'm getting very, very close to passing, he's got an option of actually rolling to say a turtle position, maybe staying there, maybe going for say, we'll just go into it. Let's say, okay, I get to here, he rolls to turtle, Okay, so if that happens, in most comps, I didn't get a guard pass. I do have an option of taking his back. Wonderful, but that's maybe I'm able to take his back. Okay, we'll go back into that again. So let's say I do the same thing. Okay, I'll go like that, and he rolls. Now he can grab my legs and put me on my back. If that was to happen there, he just got a sweep. Okay, then he can work in his guard passes. But either way, he's starting in the guard. So he's on the bottom in the guard and got to the top. So it's basically a sweep. Okay, yes, I can focus on taking his back, but he could also just do something very simple. So let's say I'll do the exact same thing. So I'm somehow getting around the legs, he rolls the turtle, and then he creates enough space to go to his guard again. Okay? Nothing happened there. There's no advantage really. Maybe it depends on how long we were doing it for, but he got back to his guard. Same thing, he's head to head with me, so I'm still in his guard. So just make sure that any time you're passing your partner's guard, we've got to look for handles, okay, to stop them from rolling. So let's just do a very easy pass. I pin the legs, I get to here, I'm putting him on his back. Okay, I've got to think about maybe locking this arm, because he can't roll without his arm. Okay, maybe his elbow is really tight by his side. So I can't get that handle. Maybe I'm able to get an underhook here and hold on to his tricep. So if he does try and roll, he's still got to deal with this. Once he realizes he can't roll, he's going to look at getting his guard. So as he turns back towards me, I've got to shut down his guard. So he's running into my hips with his thighs. So here, he's not having much luck. I'm always looking for that position where I can get inside, get that upper body control, but also turn your partner's legs away, which we were there before. So here, I can start to walk the legs back and get to this position here. I'm focusing on getting to the inside, and I've got a pretty good control. My main goal is to always pin him on his back. Good luck trying to pass your partner's guard if they're in a seated position. Okay, so another obstacle or another thing that we could work on as well. Let's say I pass his guard, so I'm getting a very good position. Okay, let's say I got to this position where he wasn't able to reclaim his guard. His elbows are in really tight and he's thinking about rolling to turtle. I could hold on to the gi maybe, so just try roll. This is pretty good. Okay, keep in mind the handles of your partner's limbs are going to be way better than the gi, because this is going to move all over the place. Okay, if I can't get the arms and he tries to roll, I could think about holding his leg and pulling him back. So once he realizes he can't roll, he's probably going to turn towards me, create some space, and get back to his guard again. So we're going to do the exact opposite. So let's say I get to here, he tries to roll, I'm pulling his leg back, he realizes he can't roll, he goes to turn towards me, then I turn his legs back. So I'm doing the exact opposite. And now I've got that inside control, then I've got a pretty good side control. Okay, so a lot of little things you've got to think about, but just remember, when you do pass your partner's guard and you're trying to stabilize that good position, whatever it may be, side control, a scarf hold, knee ride, it doesn't really matter. Look for handles as opposed to the gi. Okay, so lock onto your partner's arm, lock onto your partner's leg, hook around their head. That's going to be a lot better, but I mean, you've got to work with what you get anyway. The gi is great, but then again, it's going to move separately to the handles of your partner.